remarks prepared, but I also wanted to say something because when we're saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Palestine is not going to be free on its own, right? Where it's going to take the resistance fighters in Palestine struggling for their own liberation, and then us over here using our words and our presence to demand that our government officials end the senseless killing over there, and tell them that this isn't what we want. And they're going to do everything they can to silence us. So yesterday, the FBI came to my house and they said that they wanted to talk to my husband and ask him a couple of questions. And I don't know what it's about because I contacted CARE, recorded it and everything, and I was like, we're not going to talk to you. But this is a scare tactic. So it's not going to be easy for us. It's not going to be come to a protest once a month, once a year, or something like that. It's going to take a lot of effort, and it's going to involve a lot of discomfort and growing pains along the way. And so now I'm going to go back to my prepared remarks. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bayan. I am Palestinian and Irish. My husband is Iranian. So our poor kids have probably been on some kind of watch list since the day they were born because of their revolutionary DNA alone. I could stand here for the next few minutes and throw out all kinds of numbers at you. 33,000, the number of confirmed dead in Gaza. 14,000, the number of children killed in Gaza. 75,000, the number of injured since October 7th in Gaza. But to too many people, these figures are just numbers. Shocking numbers, but still abstract in many ways. How many of you have brought your children with you here today? I see a lot of kids, so I should see a lot of hands. Okay. I'm going to ask you to do something for me really quickly. If your child is 5 months, 5 years, 15 years, or 25 years old, right now, I want you to embrace your child. Hold them, put your lips on their head, kiss them. Tell them you love them and smell them. And I'm going to wait till like 10 seconds. And you're going to do that because you're a parent, and parents are never going to turn down the opportunity to hug and kiss their children. So now that you have done that, I haven't kissed my own kids. Hold on. Okay. I embarrassed them sufficiently. Okay. While you're doing that, now I want you to think of the more than 17,000 children in Gaza who will never in this lifetime feel the embrace of their mother and father again. Think of the thousands upon thousands of children who will never again hear the words, "I love you," from their parents. Think of the parents whose last embrace with their child was an article of clothing that they scavenged out of the dirt, or was a body that was limp and lifeless. And when we think about the orphans in Gaza, it's especially painful for us if we remember the rights that orphans have over us in Islam. In Surah An-Nisa, verse 10, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Verily, those who devour the properties of orphans unjustly, certainly they swallow fire into their bellies, and they shall enter the burning fire." In Surah Ad-Duha, verse 9, Allah says, "Do not oppress the orphan." Do not oppress the orphan. Literally speaking, we're not the ones signing blank checks over to Israel, selling ammunition, or dropping bombs on Gaza. People are not their governments and all that stuff that they say. But if we are member existing in this society and we are living our day-to-day life as normal, then I would argue that we are our government. We are oppressing the orphans in Gaza. And if we aren't speaking out against those atrocities taking place, we are complicit. And I'd like you now, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I kind of believe in shame as like a way to motivate people. So if it doesn't drive with you, then just forget it. But I want you to think about how many protests you've attended since October 7th. Tally in your head the number of teach-ins, in person or online, you've attended, the number of times you've called your elected officials. And now, since October 7th, how many birthday parties, concert, ladies or guys nights out have you gone to? This month alone, myself included, all the Muslims here can say that they've attended multiple iftar events. And when I think about it, I'm really disgusted with myself with the amount of food and all that we have. But so God forbid if it were our children that were left as orphans. Would I want people to treat our children as orphans the way that we are treating the children of Gaza? As an image to be consumed on our phone, and then we say we've had enough, it's too much, it's too painful, I can't look at that, I have other obligations in my life. And if you're treating the children in Gaza the way that you want your children to be treated, and your answer is yes, then great job. But if your answer is no, like me, then we need to step it up. There is always something more we can do. Yes, we are all going crazy watching the horrific images coming out of Gaza. Yes, we're tired and it's Ramadan and we're fasting and we have full-time jobs and families and obligations. But there is always, always, always something else we can do. If you want to protest, great. There are weekly protests. We've been going outside of Ted Cruz's house every Saturday for the last 8 or 9 weeks. Join us. If protests aren't your thing, then join our Farmers Market Sundays outreach initiatives. 50% of Americans don't know if more Gazans or Israelis have been killed since October 7th. Can you imagine that? One side has a death toll of 33,000. Daily life has come to a complete halt, and your average American is completely unaware of that. And if you want to be more disruptive, then catch up with me or another member of Al-Auda later to learn more about how you can tell our elected officials there is no business as usual during a genocide. And if you can't leave the house, at least make your daily calls to our useless representatives in Washington. Download the 5 Calls app. It will identify your reps, give you a script. You don't even have to think about what to say. All you have to do is speak the words. We want a ceasefire, no more war in Gaza. We won't stop until Palestine is free from the river to the sea.